Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll be having a continuation of our last video where the goddess is explaining to Lord Brahma in the presence of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva about the mysteries of the universe. And just to give you a quick recap, the whole sequence started with King Janamejaya, who was the direct descendant of the Pandavas of the Kuru clan. He was asking questions to sage Vyasa about the mysteries of the universe, and sage Vyasa said that he was himself very confused about these mysteries of the universe as to where it came from and why it gets and where it is going to end, and who are the three gods and who's the most powerful god, etc., etc. So he himself, sage Vyasa himself, had gone to sage Narada to ask these questions, and sage Narada said these questions were very, very difficult for me as well. So for answers, he had gone to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma had explained him about his story, about how he was created from the lotus navel of Lord Vishnu, and then after him, Lord Rudra or Shiva, in other words, was created, and these three gods were there in the ocean, and how Madhu and Ketaba, the two demons, were destroyed by Lord Vishnu, and then after the demons were destroyed, the Mahadevi or the Mahamaya or the supreme goddess had appeared before these three gods, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, and had asked them to sit on an aircraft and took them up into the skies and had them see another Kailasha with another Shiva in it, another Brahmaloka with another Brahma in it, and another Vaikuntha with another Vishnu in it, and finally these three gods saw the goddess appear in the island of gems or the Manidvipa, where they were turned into females, and then they went and sang praises in presence of the goddess and understood that she is the creator, she is the preserver, she is the destroyer, and she gets the preservation, creation, and destruction done through the three gods, which are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So she is the ultimate, and as long as she plays, the universe stays, and the moment she stops playing her dance, the universe ends. And she gave a reasoning as to why she creates and destroys this universe, and she also explains as to how after the universe is destroyed, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva get absorbed into her, and then again the universe is created, and it is created because she wants to make sure that the karmas of the jivas or the living beings that are well rewarded or they are punished for it. So that's the reason why the universe keeps getting created and destroyed, so that play happens. And how she is the origin of everything, and she is into every living being. So far, the if you refer to these 4 or 5 videos in the last sequence, in the last 4 or 5 videos, you'll have a clearer understanding. Not that you cannot watch this independently, but if you refer to those videos, you will understand it a little more clearer. So finally, in the last video, she was speaking to Brahma, and she continues speaking to Brahma about saying that there is nothing to fear, really. And she explains Lord Brahma, in the presence, of course, of Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, that as far as the creation goes, Mahatattva first arises from Prakriti. These are Sanskrit words. I don't want to confuse you, but that's how it is mentioned in the Puranas. And by the way, all this is coming directly from the Puranas. It's not out of any published story uh, on the internet or on paper. This is coming directly from the Puranas. So the Puranas is saying that how the Devi, the supreme goddess, is explaining Brahma here once again about the creation process, the process of creation, that Mahatattva first arises from Prakriti, and then from Mahatattva springs Ahankara, and then from Ahankara arises other substances. This is a little deeper discussion, which if you go more deep into the Vedas and the Puranas, you'll understand, and the Upanishads, you'll understand a little better. So don't worry about going much more detail into it. Try to understand the essence behind it. So that's what she's explaining to Brahma. So in this order, where Mahatattva first arises from Prakriti, and from Mahatattva springs Ahankara, and then from Ahankara rises other substances. So she's telling Brahma that in this order, please go on creating this universe, because that's the job you've been given to create this universe. Okay, you first appeared out of the navel lotus of Lord Vishnu, and then Shiva were created. Your job is to create. So go ahead, and this in this order, you please create the universe. And all these three gods go to your respective places. And after the universe is created, remain there and perform your respective functions as ordained by the prarabdha. Prarabdha is what karma you're supposed to do. That is the prarabdha. And the supreme goddess tells, once again she tells Lord Brahma that take this beautiful great Shakti, which is called Maha Saraswati. As we know that Maha Saraswati is the consort of Lord Brahma, so that's what she's saying, that please take this beautiful Shakti. Shakti is the female form, as we've discussed in our last video. Oh Brahma, please take this beautiful great Shakti, who's called Maha Saraswati, and she's full of Rajoguna. So as we know that there are three gunas, which are the Sattvic Guna, the Rajasic Guna, and the Tamas Guna. So Rajoguna is Rajasic Guna, and she is explaining, the Supreme Goddess is explaining to Lord Brahma that she is full of Rajoguna, which is Rajasic Guna, and of a very smiling nature. And this Shakti, who's wearing white clothes, and she's adorned with divine ornaments and sitting on a Varasana, will always be your playmate and your consort. Okay, this beautiful woman will always be your boon companion. Whenever you are there to give boons to people, she will be your companion. As we know that, once again, Saraswati is the companion or the consort of Lord Brahma, and that's what the Supreme Goddess is gifting this Shakti, this beautiful lady, to Lord Brahma, to be able to help him perform his duties, and his duties is to create. That's what she's saying. And consider her as my manifestation of power, which is Vibhuti, although in Sanskrit it's called Vibhuti, the manifestation of power. So never show any disrespect towards her. Consider her with a lot of respect. Take this great Shakti, Mahasaraswati, and go immediately to Satyaloka. And from the seed of Mahatattva, which we just discussed about Mahatattva, create the fourfold beings from those. And she explained, then, go on and do as before according to time, karma, and nature. In other words, bestow fruits according to the gunas and prarabdhas and karmas whenever it is due. So she's explaining her the process of creation in detail. Like I said, don't worry too much going into the technical details of these words, but she's explaining or telling Brahma that go on and do your duties, and for performance of your duties, I am giving you this great Shakti, this female form of Mahasaraswati, to help you perform your duty. Okay, and she also tells Brahma that Lord Vishnu is prominent in Sattva Guna. So the Rajas Guna or the Rajoguna has been given to Lord Brahma, and along with the Shakti who's full of Rajoguna, and she's telling Brahma that, however, Lord Vishnu has more of Sattva Guna and is superior to you. Okay, so she's very clearly telling Lord Brahma that Lord Vishnu is superior to you. Why? Because you're full of Rajoguna, which is Rajas Guna, but the Sattva Guna, so there are three gunas we've already discussed: Rajas Guna or Rajoguna, Sattva Guna or Sattva Guna, or and the third one is the tamas guna. Okay, so she's telling Lord Brahma that Vishnu, you're more in Rajoguna, Vishnu is more prominent in Sattva guna, and hence is superior to you. So you should always respect and worship Lord Vishnu. So here in the Puranas, very clearly, we understand that Vishnu is superior to Lord Brahma. She's saying that whenever any difficulty comes to you, Vishnu will come down to fulfill your requirement. Okay, and Vishnu will, and he already did, as we know in the Puranas, that when Brahma was very fearful of the two demons, Madhu and Kaitaba, it was Vishnu who came, of course, with the power of the goddess, and destroyed these two demons. Okay, and that's what Devi, Supreme Goddess, is telling Brahma again. Whenever any difficulty comes to you, Vishnu will come to help you. Vishnu will sometimes be born in the wombs of birds and animals, and sometimes in the wombs of living beings like men and women, and destroy the demons. Okay, and this highly powerful Mahavishnu will definitely help you. Okay, so you go on, Brahma, Lord Brahma, you can even create, go ahead and do your creative duty which has been given to you, your prarabdha, and create the devas and enjoy as you like. You can create the brahmanas, and we know that there are four varnas who have been created by Lord Vishnu: the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas who are the business class, and the Shudras who are the working class. So you can go and create the devas, which are the gods, and then the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras, and and then you can see that all the devas are happy and satisfied. And make sure whenever they perform any religious ritual or a sacrifice, then my name Swaha will always be uttered in the sacrificial obligations, oblations, I'm sorry, which when we see those fire ceremonies being performed, we say Swaha, and that's what the god is explaining, that just make sure that they perform Swaha. Okay, and then she goes on, the Supreme Goddess goes on to explain Lord Brahma that Shiva will be more predominant in the tamas guna or tamoguna. Okay, and Shiva is going to be worshipped by all people in every sacrifice, every religious ceremony which is performed. And when the devatas or the gods will be frightened by the demons, then the powers, the Shaktis, Varahi, Vaishnavi, Gauri, Narasimhi, Sachi, Shiva, and my other Shaktis, or powers, or the female powers, will take excellent bodies and destroy your fear, O lotus born Brahma. Okay, so please relax, be at ease, and go and do your work of creation. And keep repeating my 9 letters mantra, which and just do your work. Okay, so the Devi continues talking to Brahma, saying that this 9 letter mantra, and like I said, I don't want to get into the different versions of people about what this 9 letter mantra is, but she had given this mantra earlier. If you refer to the earlier videos, to Lord Shiva as well, and she tells here to Lord Brahma as well that this 9 letter mantra is the best of all the mantras. You have to keep this mantra within your heart for the accomplishment of all your deeds. Okay, so this is what she's telling Lord Brahma, and of course this is a commentary with Lord Brahma is giving to sage Narada. So this is what he's telling sage Narada about his experience with the with the supreme goddess, or the Mahamaya. And then the Bhagavati, or the Devi, or the supreme goddess, whatever you may want to call her, she smiled and she turned her face to Vishnu after speaking to Brahma, that, "Oh Vishnu, now you take this Mahalakshmi and go." So there's another gift. First, she gave this gift of Maha Saraswati to Lord Brahma, and now she's giving this gift of Mahalakshmi to Lord Vishnu. And she's telling him, please take this Mahalakshmi and go. She will always reside within your breast. There's no doubt in this. So I give Lord, she's giving Lord Vishnu, or she's telling Lord Vishnu, I'm giving this Mahalakshmi, a Shakti, for you, who will reside within your breast, and she will be a source of enjoyment to you. Okay. Now, just like Lord Brahma was instructed to be very respectful to Mahadevi Saraswati, the goddess tells Vishnu also that please always show respect to Mahalakshmi. Okay. Never show any kind of a hatred towards her. For the good of the world, I am going to unite Lakshmi and you. And for your sustenance, I will create a yajna, or a sacrifice, and you will act together harmony. Okay. And she's telling all the three gods, Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, that you, Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, as a matter of fact, she's telling this to Vishnu, that you, Brahma, and Shiva are my three devatas, the three gods, born of my gunas only. So these three gunas, which are the sattva guna, the rajas guna, and the tamas guna, actually are the gunas, or the qualities of the Devi, or the supreme goddess, which are manifested through these three gods. Once again, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, with Rajoguna, Sattva-guna, and Tamas-guna respectively. Okay. And then the goddess keeps on continuing her conversation to the three gods, that you three will be respected and worshipped in the entire world. Okay. And then very important thing, very important statement, which the goddess, the supreme goddess, the Mahamaya, says, is that the stupid man who will find any difference between you three will go to hell. So they shouldn't be like, as we as mortal beings, if we were to find a difference between, oh no, no, Vishnu is different than Brahma, and Brahma is different than Shiva, she very clearly says that you will go to hell. There is no doubt about it. Any person who will find any difference between you three. So there are actually three gunas of the same goddess, and the goddess, these are the three powers of the goddess only, and don't find any difference. These three gods have been given three gunas, and they're just doing their respective duties. So whoever is Vishnu is Shiva, and whoever is Shiva is Vishnu. Okay. And also Brahma is one and the same with Shiva and Vishnu. There is no difference between these three, because these are born out of my gunas only. Okay. So whoever creates a difference between these three, and we see that in day to day, we've been seeing that there is always some kind of a conflict going between Shiva devotees and Vishnu devotees, who's better, who's more powerful. She's very clearly instructing that, or telling this to the three gods, that whoever finds a difference between you three will go to hell. Okay. Very, very clearly she is saying. So what we are learning from the Puranas is that we should not find any difference between Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. They're all one and only one of the supreme goddess, who have been created. And she tells Vishnu that you will have sattva guna more predominant within you, and the rajas guna and the tamas guna will be secondary. So another very important thing which the goddess, the supreme goddess, is saying, that all living beings have the three gunas, including the gods, but one of the three gunas, or the quality, is going to be predominant. Like in the case of Brahma, the predominant quality is going to be rajas guna. Like in the case of Vishnu, the predominant quality is going to be Sattva-guna, and in the case of Shiva, the predominant quality will be in the form of Tamas-guna. And so it is also descended down to other living beings who have been given these three gunas, all three gunas. There cannot be a living being just with one guna. It has to be all three. But the predominant part, it has to be seen. Like in case of Vishnu, the predominant is Sattva-guna, and so on and so forth. Then she continues to tell Vishnu that I'm giving you also Vak Bija, Kama Bija, and Maya Bija, that will lead you to the highest end. And once again, these are little technical terms. I don't want you to get bothered by these. These bijas are mantras. And she says, I'm giving you these three bijas also. also for your benefit and to take you to the highest end, take this mantra and repeat it and enjoy as you like, O Vishnu. By this, the danger of death, which is caused by Kala, Kala is a Sanskrit word for time, will never come to you. And when the creation of this universe will completely be done, then I will destroy the whole thing, moving and non moving. And you also will be destroyed or dissolved and then be dissolved into me. Okay? All the three gods are also going to be dissolved into me at the time of universal dissolution. And you should add pranaya, this mantra, with kama bija leading to moksha, and repeat it always with auspicious motives. So keep repeating these mantras which I am giving you, because this will lead you to moksha, which means, the ultimate salvation. So even gods are subject to moksha. That is what is being mentioned in the Puranas here. Okay, and then she continues to tell Vishnu that, O Purushottama, Purushottama is another word for Vishnu. Purush means a male and Uttama means the best. Oh, best male. Okay, build your Vaikuntha. And she, by the way, she already showed that one Vaikuntha with another Vishnu to the three gods already, but now she's telling the Vishnu who is standing in front of her that go and create your own Vaikuntha, live there and think of my eternal form and enjoy as you like. Okay, so Brahma is telling this all to sage Narada, that this is what has been happening. Just to give you a quick recap, that this is what Brahma is telling sage Narada as to what is happening. Okay, and then sage Narada is explaining this to sage Vyasa. So this is like a sequence. Like I said, if you see the last 4 or 5 videos, you'll understand a little more better. And then Brahma said that saying this to Vishnu, the supreme goddess, or the Prakriti Devi, whatever you may want to call us, who is actually the three gunas or the three quality, started to talk to Shiva, or Mahadeva as he's called, the Deva of the Devas, or the God of the gods, as he's explained. And all this knowledge is coming to us from the ancient Purana, so that we understand why do we call Shiva Mahadeva here, because the goddess herself is considering her as the god of the gods, and that's why he is being called Mahadeva, or the god of the gods. Anyways, so the goddess continues after speaking to Vishnu. She continues talking to Shiva that, O Shankara, Shankara is another name for Shiva, as we all know, accept this beautiful Mahakali Gauri. So here the supreme goddess gave Mahasaraswati to Lord Brahma. She gave Mahalakshmi to Lord Vishnu, and now she is giving the beautiful Mahakali Gauri to Lord Shiva. And she is telling Shiva that accept this Shakti, this Mahakali Gauri, and go and build a new Kailasha city. And what you just seen was another Kailasha. You go and build your own Kailasha city and live there happily. Your primary guna will be tamas, and your secondary guna will be sattva guna and rajas guna. Like I said, all beings have to have three guna, which is predominant has to be seen. So the predominant guna for Brahma is rajas, and the secondary is tamas and sattva guna. The predominant guna of Vishnu is sattva guna, and the secondary guna is tamas and rajas, and the predominant guna of Shiva is tamas, and the secondary is sattva and rajas. Okay, so just only use your rajas and tamagunas when you need to destroy the demons, and then you go and live in your Kailasha city with this beautiful Mahakali Gauri, which I am giving you, the female goddess, which I am giving you, and enjoy there. Okay, O sinless Shankara. Okay, you are all the three, and she's saying, O sinless Shankara, please do your respective duties. Shankara, stay there in Kailasha, enjoy, and also practice austerities as well. Okay, you three are all for creating, preserving, and destroying this universe, and you're all of the three gunas. in control. All the controlling gunas of the entire universe is going to be controlled by you. Although it is given to you by me, but now you're in control of these three gunas. And she explains that there is no such thing in this world, no living entity in this world which is devoid of these three gunas. Everything that is visible is endowed with these three gunas, and whatever will be or is going to be there cannot exist without these three gunas. Only the Supreme Self is without these guna, but he is not visible. Now she's opening up another mystery about the male Supreme Guna, or the Supreme Self. Okay, so she is saying, I am Prakriti, I am the female form, but there is a Supreme Self also, which is a male form, but he's not visible. And if you remember in the last video, Brahma had asked this question to the goddess, that what is the difference between he and she? Are you male or female? And she explains that there's only a subtle difference between me and the Purusha, which is the male form. And people who can understand this go to the highest level of salvation. So here she's explaining here that only the Supreme Self is without these three gunas, but he's not visible. Okay. And me, who's the female form, who's the para prakriti, as she's called in Sanskrit, and once again, don't get confused by these technical names. She is the para prakriti, or the female form. At time I appear with these three gunas, and at other times I remain without any gunas. And once again, these gunas, sattva guna, rajas guna, and tamas guna. Okay, but the entire universe has to have, whoever is there in this world has to have these three gunas. Only one Supreme Self is without the gunas, but he is not visible. Okay, and she's saying, I can be with gunas, and at times I cannot be without gunas. All right, so I think I'm making myself clear here. So she goes on to explain the three gods, that I am always of the casual nature. When I am casual, and sometimes I'm not with the casual nature. And she says that when I'm casual, I'm with the gunas. And when I'm before the highest Purusha, the male, then I'm without the gunas. Okay, so when she's in a casual form, she says I'm with gunas, these three gunas. But when I'm with the male Supreme Self, the male form, which is not visible, the he which is not visible, then I am without gunas. Okay, but these gunas in all living beings perform the work of the universe day and night, each preceding, one being the cause and each subsequent being the effect. All right, so they keep doing their duties based on the three gunas which are there in this entire universe. Okay, so all these technical things she's explaining to the various gods, but today we wanted to just discuss as to how she gave the three gifts of the three devis, the three shaktis, so the three gods. She gave Maha Saraswati to Lord Brahma, she gave Mahalakshmi to Lord Vishnu, and she gave Mahakali Gauri to Lord Shiva. And she explained in detail about the meaning of the gunas and the Supreme Self, who's not visible. And she explains that, she is with the three gunas when she is casual, and she is not with the gunas when she is with the Purusha, or the male form, or the Supreme Self, who's invisible. Okay, so I don't want to go beyond that and confuse you, because these are little pieces of information which are extremely important for us to understand, which are coming directly from the Puranas once again. And we will continue in our next session about stories from the Puranas, about our next interaction of I think there is a little more which the goddess needs to explain to the gods. Although she has mentioned to the gods, please take these shaktis, take these three female forms and shaktis with you, and perform your respective duties for which you have been created. So hopefully you enjoyed this video on stories from the Puranas, and in the meanwhile I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and we will continue with either stories from the Puranas or some discussion on Vedic astrology in my next session very soon. Goodbye.